Let's learn the basics of how are algebraic expressions formed. Now, we have already covered and discussed a lot about algebraic expressions, arithmetic expressions and all when we were learning basics of algebra. So those of you who are new to algebra, I'll recommend you to follow the link that I have put in the description box below. That link is to the playlist where we will find a lot of video tutorials on the basics of algebra. Okay, so first watch those videos and then come and start watching from here onwards so that you can better understand the discussions. Now, if we write 2 plus 3, right, let's quickly revise some basics. If we write 2 plus 3, this is actually arithmetic expression, right? But if we write 2x plus 3, it becomes a algebraic expression. And why? This expression doesn't contain any variable, but in this expression we have one variable, that is x. That makes it an algebraic expression. If you add a single variable here, or if you, let's say you simply multiply this with y times 2 plus 3, now this also becomes an algebraic expression because now it has a variable here. Okay, that's the basic of the difference between arithmetic expression and algebraic expression. Now, if we say that we have an algebraic expression x squared, so how is it formed? You will say that it's formed by multiply x with itself 2 times. That is, it becomes x times x. Multiply x with itself 2 times. This gives you x squared. What do we say? We say x squared. We call it x squared. Or we say it x raised to the power 2. Similarly, x cube is formed by multiply x with x 3 times. Sorry, x with itself or x anything 3 times. Itself 3 times. So x times x times x. And what you get? X cube. What do we say? We say x cube or x raised to the power 3. X raised to the power 3. Right? In the same fashion, if it is x to the power, x raised to the power 100. So this will be multiply x with itself 100 times. 100 times. This is the way how it has been formed. So this is x times x times x and times. Finally, let's say this is 100th x. So multiply x with itself 100 times. You'll get x raised to the power 100. So if somewhere it is written like this, x times x times x times x, how will you write this in the form of algebraic expression? You will write it as, how many x do we have? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So x raised to the power 4. Now don't get it confused with this one, x plus x plus x plus x. If this is the condition, that is x has been added to itself 4 times, it becomes 4 times x. But if it has been multiplied 4 times, right? If it has been multiplied 4 times, then it is actually x raised to the power 4. So similarly, if your algebraic expression is y raised to the power 1000, and someone asks you that how this algebraic expression has been formed, simply tell them that multiply y with itself 1000 times. And what will you call to this? Call this y raised to the power 1000. Okay. Now let's take some more examples. Let's take, if this is 3 times x plus y plus 2. So you will say that the first step will be multiply 3 with x. So we get 3 times x. The second step will be add y to 3x. So you get 3x plus y. And then add 2 to 3x plus y. So you get 3x plus y plus 2. Right? So adding 2 to 3x plus y, you get this one. So in these 3 steps, simple steps, we can form this expression. Now, one very important thing, and it's important because when we'll move forward, we'll cover more topics in our discussion on algebraic expressions. There we will use a term called term of an algebraic expression, right? So for this topic, what I'm going to discuss now is very important. Let's say we have our algebraic expression as 3x plus y minus 2. So the first step, you will say that multiply 3 with x, so you will get 3x. The second step, you will say that add y to 3x, so you will get 3x plus y. Now third step, you will say that subtract 2 from 3x plus y minus 2, and that's actually correct. But it's better to think it in this way. You simply say, for the third step I'm telling, the best way will be you add minus 2 to 3x plus y. Okay, so this becomes 3x plus y plus add minus 2. This gives you what? Plus outside the bracket will make the finally will be minus. So 3x plus y minus 2. And why is it important? Because when we'll discuss about terms in an algebraic expression, then we will use one thing, that we will always say that terms, and this I'm going to cover in the next video tutorial. That's why this is really very important. Terms are added to form an algebraic expression, right? So like in this example, let me show you. 3x is one term, y is one term, another term, and 2 is another term. Okay, if you remember this definition that terms are added to form an algebraic expression, so this is term 1, let's denote this with t1. This is term 2, let's denote this with t2, and this is term 3. So we have actually added 3 terms, t1 plus t2 plus t3. In the same fashion, if we follow this definition and if we follow this algebraic expression where we are actually saying that add minus 2 to 3x plus y, then you can write it as this as 3x plus y plus minus 2. That is the same this one that we have already written here, right? So here in this case 3x is one term, this y is another term, this minus 2 is another term. If we denote this one with t1, that is term 1, term 2, term 3, then it satisfies the definition. That is, terms are added to form an algebraic expression. Terms have been added here. T1 plus T2 plus T3. What's T3? T3 is actually minus 2. So that means if somewhere you see this kind of this algebraic expression, let's say x cube minus x square and minus x and minus 1. Let's say this is our algebraic expression. You quickly write it as this way: x cube plus minus x square, because when this bracket opens this will become minus finally, plus minus x, plus minus becomes minus, plus minus 1, plus minus becomes minus. So again, if you look at this definition, terms are added to form an algebraic expression. So this plus and this plus, so terms are added. So this is term 1, this is term 2, this is term 3, and this is term 4. Terms have been added to form this algebraic expression. What's term 1? Term 1 is x cube. X cube. What's term 2? Term 2 is minus x square. What's term 3? Term 3 is minus x. And what's term 4? Term 4 is minus 1. So this is really very important, that you always think of this subtraction as something has been added, some negative value has been added. We know that outside the bracket if you have plus, and if inside the bracket you have minus, then final outcome is actually minus only, right? So this is the way to form algebraic expressions. In the next video we are going to discuss about factors, coefficients, and more about this term. Okay, so do watch those video tutorials. Thank you.